enjoy the smoke. Gather round and share the flame. Life is short, so enjoy the ride. Grab your guys and light them up. From our bunker to all you watching, raise your glass and take a shot. Because in arms the smoke is right. We are live on the air from the guard room, our HQ. We stand tall and we stand free, with a smoke, a good drink, and brotherhood. Light it up and take a puff, enjoy the smoke because it's time to unwind. Gather round and share the flame. Life is short, so enjoy the ride. Grab your guns and light them up. From our bunker to all you watching, raise your glass and take a shot. With guns in arms, the smoke is right.
All right, what's going on? So, notice we got a little different layout tonight. I've got, instead of K Mama being in the chat room, she's now operating the computer today. They probably can't hear you, but she's back there operating the computer just to kind of...
Sorry, they couldn't hear me either. I had my shit turned off.
Just to kind of take some of the distractions away from me for the show. So we're going to dive right in this one. We're going to try a new format this week. We're going to keep our subjects to one main subject, and we're still going to do a Florida story. I got that one. And then I have two quick headlines, and then we'll dive into the subject for the week. And we're going to see if we can do our best to try to keep this episode right around an hour, so that way we're not taking up too much of your time. So
An hour or less.
hopefully.
Because no, we're gonna do an hour or less.
Well, I mean, you got to have at least a 10-minute buffer. If
we start losing people at an hour, so we're gonna give this a shot.
We're gonna do our best. We may go a few minutes over, but we're not going for a 2-hour show.
He's not positive about what we can and can't do.
I don't mean it. We might be able to blow through these subjects pretty quick, and we might have zero problems.
So it may be a 20-minute show.
It might be. Who knows? It could be a 20-minute show. Could be a 45-minute show. We're just gonna kind of wing it and go with it, and
try to keep everybody's interest.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get some of you lovely people out there to hop in the comments and drop some comments for us. But without further ado, we'll just go ahead and get the show kicked off instead of dragging it out and waiting for anybody to hop in. So I am your host, Kyle, and I'm joined over here to my right by Outlaw.
I'm here. How you doing? Welcome.
And today you're picking up. Yeah, today, whatever. You're picking up where you left off last week.
I am.
On your cigar.
I am. I threw the box away and I don't remember what. This is the fire.
You're doing the fire.
I did the water last week. Doing the fire this week.
I believe.
The water was pretty good. I remember you said 2 weeks ago? 2 or 3 weeks ago that this one was good.
Was the fire the one with the sweet cap? I think it was. Yeah.
The water had a sweet cap.
Okay, then the fire doesn't.
I haven't smoked the fire yet, so I can't tell you.
The fire one does not have the sweet cap.
Great, so all I'm going to taste is pepper.
No, it wasn't too peppery.
No flavors for me.
But if you want to throw up my what I'm smoking.
Producer K Mama.
Yeah. Yeah, your mouse is moving around on the TV up there. Gotta go a little bit lower. So my screenshot that she's about to throw up, it says Kyle Cigar.
She's new at this game.
Yeah, it is Kyle Cigar. Okay, you're good. So What you're going to be seeing here, I went ahead and pulled out. Remember, we were talking last week about the Stillwater Star Holiday, the aromatic cigar.
You want the honest answer or the family answer?
What do you mean?
I can go one of two ways on this answer.
You don't remember or you do remember?
I do not remember shit about what you said about that cigar.
Well,
after about an hour of the show, I kind of checked out. That's how tired I was.
So
I was
last
just
week
mentally not here.
Last week we were talking about aromatic cigars and how...
Okay, that part I do remember.
About how I think that's going to be the next big step in cigars.
Yep, I remember you saying that.
So
it's all coming back to me now.
I'm pulling out the aromatic. This is the holiday edition. What you're seeing on the screen is the 24, but this one is the Stillwater Holiday 25 edition, so that one's a year behind.
Okay.
But I think it's pretty much the same blend.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just labeled it 25 again instead of 24. But this is the one that...
Yeah, you've just confused the hell out of me, so...
Yeah. Now, I'm going to try the aromatic one, see how it smells and everything, so... Did you flip it over to the close one? Let me move over here. It's nice and focused. So that's what I'm going to be smoking, so I just got to get it cut. You can go ahead and flip down that screenshot there.
And again, I'm smoking the fire from...
Which I believe we're supposed to find out about that this week.
Yeah, I actually got something on, I think it was either my Facebook or my Instagram, that they were releasing all that info on them. I almost want to say that it's already happened.
Maybe it did. I don't know.
But I didn't get a notification. Yes, because the morning I got that notification, they were saying they were going to go do a basically like a live press, not a press conference, but Instagram or their social media.
Yeah. Well, I believe it was going to be on Facebook.
Maybe it was Facebook.
They were going live on Facebook.
But they were going to tell all about these and where they were going to end up and line up.
I'll have to go back and look tonight and see if I can...
But I want to say it says something about they were going to go and talk about that day or that evening, afternoon or evening.
Well, I know we got the big convention going on in New Orleans right now, so that's going to be... This coming week's going to be just probably nothing but cigar content on all the cigar channels on what was released and projects coming out this year.
Right.
Did you see that screenshot I sent you Monday? The Cigars Daily is going to have their own knuckle sandwich guy, Fieri.
Yes, I did see that.
I think they said that one, their plan is hopefully around November dropping that one.
Okay.
So... That'll be, they got that one. I know they got a few different ones, but that was the big one they were talking about. And they were pumped about getting that one. So.
And just in case anybody missed the show or hasn't watched the show about this particular early access, if you want to show that too,
yeah, I can
up on the camera. By Drew Estates. It's the Fire in the Water. Early access. I can't read them. Oh, it's over there.
Have y'all been to Cigar International on 240s?
Yes. Yep, we go.
That's pretty much my go-to when I'm looking for good premium cigars.
If we're not buying them online from Cigars Daily or cigars.com, then yeah, we'll run down to Cigars International.
And then
if you haven't been, Dobie, it's a nice place.
I even like it.
Yeah. Huge selection. They've even got a bar, a cigar lounge. You can go down and pair a cigar with some good brandy or bourbon. Or
their humidor is probably a good 75 by 75.
He just said
at least.
For the first time I tried that brand y'all are talking about right now, and it was super nice.
Oh, the one Kyle has.
Okay.
Okay.
Dunbarton.
And then he said I went last night and they had a live band.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, wow, I didn't know they had
They
live
got an
music.
event going on today too.
They have a lot of events.
Yeah, they do a lot of cigar events where they have vendors come in, like the cigar manufacturers and stuff, and they do like specials. If you buy so much or buy a box from while their vendors are there, you get free swag and stuff.
We always
Oh,
end up
okay.
missing it because there's
It's all something always happens on because they tend to do it Friday or Saturdays, and it's like something always pops up.
Always.
But this week, my pairing for my cigar, this one's straight up for producer James and who's over there on PTO time. I'm gonna be pairing it with the Sunset Sarsaparilla.
Producer James and PTO time. Those don't go together. At this point, he's just retired. He's retired, Producer James. And what are you drinking? That's a sarsaparilla stuff?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to ask him. I didn't get a star. I got a QR code.
Uh-oh.
Is he watching?
He said he was gonna.
He's gonna have to let
Put
me
it
know.
up
Yeah,
once.
I got a QR code. I didn't get a star, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah, see, Chloe and Dylan had me.
Maybe C. Dobie knows.
Chloe and Dylan had me drink one of those. I think I took one to work with me, and
Joey says Sunset Sarsaparilla is 10 out of 10.
I wouldn't give it all that. I didn't care for the aftertaste it left. I mean, it was all right. What's
I
it?
got the Blue Star. It's like a special.
Yeah, I didn't get a star. I got a QR code, so
Well, you'll have to scan that later and see what that's all about. So yeah, he's done the introductions. He's shown you what we're smoking. We are lighting what we're smoking. So if you have a cigar,
yeah, if you have one, light it up.
pull it
and
up, light it up, shoot the shit with us.
Let's
Jump in the comments.
Someone says QR codes are normal. Stars are rare.
Oh, okay.
I'm only seeing, I guess, one comment. I'm not seeing. Oh yeah, there they are.
Oh,
All right.
that person, that's Dylan.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you being usually on the screen and the commenting, I didn't know if
What?
you've learned who different people are yet.
James said he got that out of my pack.
Oh, yeah. The one bottle that James gave to Chad had the blue star. All right, so I guess let's go ahead and throw up the first.
I don't feel like throwing up. That's not a good thing.
Technical. When I went to second camera back to main camera, now I don't see your stuff.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
New producer means new problems, guys.
Are you on the?
The scenes.
You're on the scenes, right?
Yeah, but I'm on main camera. When I went to second camera.
So yeah, you
You
guys
can't switch cameras in the scenes. You only do them by the two cameras on the bottom.
That's what I did. But when I go back to when I'm on main camera, your stuff's not there. When I go to scene, your stuff's there.
Let me see.
Gotta love those technical. This is what you call on-the-job training.
Yeah, you go here.
Because we wanted it to be easier,
Oh,
so we brought K-Mama in
I see.
to run the computer and sound and all that stuff. So yeah, she's just learning. She's a newbie. She's a rookie.
Florida man, I think. So let's jump right.
Anonymous, yes, she's an amateur.
All right, so
You know who Anonymous is, right, Kim?
Yes.
Amateur indeed.
do what?
Segment
Pop up that verse one.
only. Oh, only.
Yeah, only in Florida. Yeah, that's how we introduce our Florida stories. So, welcome to the Florida story here. So it's gonna be popping up, but this one, I saw this headline earlier this week, and then actually I had somebody send it to me. So it's making its
Yeah,
way,
you will.
It's making its way around. So
This particular Florida story?
yeah, so you can go ahead and drop the only in Florida part and go ahead and throw up mine. And so this one, ready for this one?
No, I'm ready.
Florida man arrested after attempting to trade his mother-in-law to Iran as part of a hostage exchange program he made up.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm guessing the holidays are going to be kind of awkward around that household.
Oh, I'm sure. So, you said he wanted to trade his mother-in-law
Yeah, he wanted to
to
trade
Iran.
his mother-in-law to Iran as part of a hostage exchange program that he made up himself. So I don't know who he was trying to trade her for.
I don't think she's too happy with him.
No. Especially if she had no idea and then she found out when he was arrested.
Could you imagine your grandmother, my mother-in-law, hearing that I was going to trade her to Iran for a ransom?
Well, if it was be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she would
You're going to
forget.
do what? I don't think so. That's how my mother-in-law would. I don't think so.
So yeah, that was my Florida headline for the week.
W says, what could Iran possibly gain from that? Well,
I don't know.
probably nothing.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
Well, 100% nothing.
because, yeah, as a woman in Iran, I don't think you're allowed to talk.
I think he just wanted to get
I
rid
don't
of his
think you-
mother-in-law.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what that
Trying
sounds
to
like.
make some cash on what he thought would be an even trade. Cash for mother-in-law.
Look, we both got problems. You take my mother-in-law, and
And I'll take
I'll-
your money.
and I'll take whoever in exchange, and we'll just call this a wash. So
I think they have more fun with goats than they have with women. That's just my theory. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's been known to happen.
So yeah, that was my Florida story. Like I said, I found that one early in the week, and then I had it sent to me later in the week. I was like, well, I already picked that one, so
It's a sign.
I guess it was a sign for that one to be thrown up there. I guess now we'll move on to this. Let's go to the FDA screenshot. Did you get it popped up? Some
Yeah, we're just
In-
on a little
in-
time delay here.
in cigar news, a judge this week reaffirmed his own case from an earlier, I believe it was a 2023 ruling, deeming that the FDA has to vacate its regulations over qualifying handmade premium cigars. So,
About damn time.
basically, the key details of it is the ruling applies specifically to premium cigars defined by the court, which normally means handmade cigars with no non-tobacco tips, flavors, or containing 100% tobacco. So basically, your Swisher Sweets with the plastic tips,
Yeah.
the wood tips, those aren't in this. Anything that has artificially sweetened caps or wrappers are not in this. Any of your flavored,
your potpourri cigars.
any of your flavored cigars are
Right, don't fall under that.
don't fall under this ruling. It has to be a 100% tobacco leaf cigar. And let's see here. Yeah, so it was the judge reaffirmed his August of 2023 ruling, ending a decade-long battle brought by the Cigar Rights of America and other industry groups. It basically, the ruling primarily affects premium cigars. Mass market, machine made, and flavored cigars are not included in this exemption. So basically, the exemption is if you, I don't know if you can see any on here. I've done most of my work of hiding them or taking them off, but premium hand-rolled cigars are just like packs of cigarettes. The FDA puts that Surgeon General warning label right across it. It says, oh yeah, there's one right there. above your head. On the
Where, this one?
nope, down. The
Oh,
white one,
right
yeah,
there.
right there.
Yep.
Basically saying,
This shit'll kill you.
yeah. So
Basically what it says. You smoke it, you're going to get cancer, you're going to fucking die. That's it. And I'm sure you'll have another federal judge come in at some point going, oh no, these will kill you, so we got to keep it on there.
I don't think that's the case. As this has now been reaffirmed, that means he already did it. They appealed it, and he reaffirmed his
prior decision.
Yeah, so therefore I don't think it can be appealed again. And the biggest thing is cigar companies have previously had to pay over $100 million in user fees to navigate the courts and the processes of how all of this would be handled. And then they have to pay fees because of that warning label. And so it affects everything in the company.
Right.
From the top down, it affects everybody in the cigar company. So
Right.
looks like going forward, as long as you're smoking premium hand rolled 100% tobacco cigars,
And those would include Cubans, right? So let's get those Cubans over here. That needs to happen. I mean, I don't want to go paying $160 for a cigar or more.
Well,
but it'd be damn worth it. They're that good.
Like I said, the expensive part is getting them. If you go on a cruise,
well, yeah,
you can go to
take
the port.
bands off.
You can go to the port, and I found the cigar places that have them, and they're actually not that bad in price. The Monte Crisco's that like we smoked.
Trip to Miami, anyone?
That Monte Crisco that we smoked, that I got from my buddy, that one at that cigar shop was $45, which
I could do that. I
Yeah.
could do that all day long.
that's not bad.
No, that's
I mean, it seems like you can walk in Cigar International and buy a
gonna
Cohiba that's $45.
right.
So, and that's an actual Cuban, because I forget the name of the shop, but there is one shop that is the only place that you can guarantee that if you go to any of these ports, they have one of these shops in every port. If you go to their company, it is 100% Cuban cigars. There's no fakes or anything in there, and it's guaranteed to be real. You just got to be careful when you get off the boat. Everybody's going to try to sell you fake Cubans because they know.
Right. You're here for Cubans.
Yeah. So, but yeah, $45. I mean, that's really not that bad. Like I said, when I can walk into Cigar International and a Cohiba Black can be $45.
I was going to say,
so,
yeah, you can spend $45 on a cigar and it not even be a good cigar. But because, they're putting out, I mean, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not a quality cigar, I guess. You just don't like that particular cigar. But you're going to pay, like you said, the same as you would for
well, no different than like
bootleg.
that Connecticut Cohiba I was talking about last week.
Right.
That had been sitting in my humidor for 4 months, and I was trying to smoke it, and Kim saw the black
All
stuff
the
on my
oil.
lip, and then
Right.
I took it off, and it was dropping all that oil out of it. Like, that cigar tasted better. To me, that one tasted better straight from the store within the first 2 weeks than it did sitting in my humidor.
And I've heard people say that, I've seen people ask, how long do I leave a cigar sit in my humidor? And of course, you go in the comments and you've got 500 different people going, oh, you buy a cigar, you smoke it right away. You leave it in your humidor for 2 months. You leave it in your humidor for 2 weeks. You leave it in your humidor for 4 months. It depends on the person, I think.
Yes,
I mean, I've smoked some out of my humidor that didn't taste as good as some that I bought, or even ones that were exactly like that I happened to smoke as soon as I bought it. So, I mean, I think it just depends on the cigar and the person. It's kind of a
Well, I mean, like
your choice kind of deal.
Like, I've had some, like the old, like they break down. They say, was it SOTF, or
Okay, Mama said, book the cruise.
or SO straight off the truck, basically. Like, I've had them where I've gotten them in the mail, And instead of going straight into the humidor, like I pull one out and I smoke it right there, and then the rest go in, and I'll smoke them in a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Right. It's like the ones I gave that me and Grammy gave you guys for Christmas. You know, the Kentucky, what is it? The Kentucky
the fire cured.
fire cured one. And there were a couple other ones. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head what they were, but I want to say that I ended up smoking one of the Kentuckys during one of the shows. I'd only had them, I think we had them maybe a week before I smoked that one. So, I mean,
I think it depends upon the tobaccos,
yeah.
too, in my opinion. Certain cigars do develop other flavor profiles if you age them. But other tobacco blends, to me, they don't taste different straight from the store versus sitting in the humidor for a month or two.
Now, see, but I've also heard that
Because you got to
a
remember,
lot of your cigars are aged before they ship them.
this is what I was just about to say. You got to remember, most cigars are aged anywhere from 30 days to a year sometimes.
Right.
Before they're even shipped out.
Yeah,
Because
before
they'll roll
before you
them.
can buy them or whatever.
They'll roll them, and then they have their aging room that they go and put them all in
Right.
for a set amount of time before they package them and send them out.
Right.
So they're already getting fermented and aged and all that stuff in the whole process.
And that's what I've heard groups talk about. You really, in all reality, you really don't even have to put them in a humidor to age.
No,
You can actually, when you get them, you could smoke it right then.
I think the humidor is more of a getting it acclimated to your
Your
liking and
Yep.
humidity.
Yes.
That's what the more important part of the humidor, in my opinion, is.
Right.
Is
And I've heard
you're
the same
not getting a cigar that's too dry or too wet. You get
Right.
it, throw it in your humidor for a week or two, and it's going to acclimate
And
to
I'm sorry,
what you like.
if I'm smoking a cigarette and that bitch starts leaking on me, I'm done. I don't want any more of that cigar. I don't need a cigar spitting up on
You
me.
want to try that?
No, I'm good. I'm kind of enjoying this one.
Okay.
I don't want to. I mean, I don't have any over the top flavors. I don't have that palate with cigars. I never have. I just don't.
Yeah,
Pepper's the only thing I can pull out of it.
This one's definitely it's got. You can tell it's got a different kind of tobacco in it, mixed in there.
I mean, you're smoking the light colored ones, which
'Cause
is usually the ones I like.
Well, it's got but this one is the one that's got. I think essentially it's like a version of pipe tobacco mixed in.
Fuck, you sold me there. Damn it! You didn't lick it, did you?
No.
You didn't tongue it?
No.
Okay. This is my one thing I don't like doing. I don't like drinking after people and putting my mouth on other things, especially men. Shut up, Dobie.
Well, we got one more quick little headline, and then we got into the topic. So, see, you taste it?
Exactly, Anonymous. Exactly. See, this is where I would need my son to come in and it's a normal.
I got socks on. So you taste it?
I do. I like that. That's different. It's a good different though.
Yeah, so they're mixing, instead of doing like a flavored tobacco, they're mixing the pipe
A little
tobacco.
bit of, and it's not overbearing either. You fucker. Shut up.
No, we puff pass.
Yeah,
okay?
it's puff pass. You wouldn't know anything about that.
All right,
Damn.
let's go ahead and throw up my last quick headline here.
Oh my God.
Do what?
Your aunt's on there. No, there was no saliva sharing.
Nope, it is dry. That cap is dry. Thank you very much.
I basically wrapped my mustache around that. There was no skin contact whatsoever. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if Dobie took a picture of the screen, unless he's just listening to it.
All right, so you got my see my last one. This one's gonna be the interesting one. See what I mean? We're kind of taking a vintage throwback here. This one's interesting because apparently at some point this week the federal government has reached out to, I don't know if it's the big three or just Ford and GM. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I actually read a little bit of this story. Not because you told me, I just happened to run across it and you told me today, hey, I found this. I was like, yep, I read the same thing.
That potentially getting them involved in producing some kind of weaponry, which is something we haven't seen done since
Fucker.
World War II.
Right.
It'd be interesting to follow this story to see what happens if they start doing that. I mean, in a way, it does make it cool for us as civilians for later on down the road, as long as they're not making weapons that we can't have.
You know that's going to happen.
You know, but, because, point being, like 1911s.
Right.
Back in World War I and World War II, they literally had the Swinger, the sewing machine company, making 1911s. They had Ingersoll, or who was it? I know they had the Postal Service. They had
It was basically anybody that could make a weapon.
anybody who had manufacturing capabilities to machine
Warehousing,
metal
all that stuff, yep.
was International Harvester, made M1 Grands, and they were, I believe, a tractor company.
Yes.
I mean, so, and all of those, like even the Postal Service, I think something postal was even involved. It's a very rare. There is hardly any of them out there, but
So is this where we get the phrase "going postal"?
I don't know. But on the civilian side, if they're not making fully automatic weapons that we can't buy, that's stuff that collectors down the road be able to get a hold of, and it makes them more rare because Colt made most of the 1911s. Colt,
Right.
Remington, those were your two big players.
Your bigger companies back in those days.
Yeah. And then you had all these little off brands that they were like, look, they can't keep up with it, so we need you to produce them, And so they were smaller batches, and so those become more of the collector items
Right.
for the civilians. So
Right.
like the M1 Garand, yeah, it was a Springfield Armory who originally made it, but you had everybody else making it. You had International Harvester, you had Inland, you had all kinds of different people were dabbling into that. So it could be things that if these companies do start making stuff, I doubt it's going to be anything we're going to get to own, but it might be kind of cool if
Yeah, unfortunately.
it might be kind of cool if they do make some side, if they do get to have to make sidearms or something, and you get some non-traditionally stamped firearms out of it that we can buy
it'd be
through
cool.
surplus at one day.
I mean, the way the government is right now, I don't see it ever happening, but it'd definitely be cool to be able to buy something that was, made here, because not a lot's made here anymore. But to have something made by Ford or, one of the big manufacturing companies like that.
Because I know Ford, they made a lot of airplanes. I know they shut down and they were making a lot of planes in World War II.
Right.
But yeah, well, it'll be interesting. Do they actually do it? I don't think they will, but they've been approached on the subject, so we'll see.
And with all that being said, it just happened to pop in my head that I also heard a story on you talking about the whole government thing, and this kind of falls because y'all have a son. How we had to do, back in my day, back in your day, we had to go to the post office and register for the selective service.
Yeah, the
That's
automatic.
that's all going digital now. So like with Caden, he won't have to go. I think it's still going to be he's supposed to go and sign, but it's actually, they're going to do it digitally.
I think I think I want to say
So-
mine when I got my license when I turned 18.
Now, that's how Caleb's was. In
Oh.
my day, I actually had to go to the post office and
yeah,
fill out the card
I
thing.
think when I went and got my license at 18, that's when they did it all there through the DMV.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, however they do it now, I don't know if that's going to discontinue when they roll out this new way, but it's all going to be done digital. They're not going to have to... Basically, they're not going to have to worry about you not going and
Yeah.
signing up and all that stuff. It's going to be done by your social and your birth date. As soon as you turn 18, digitally, you are in that world now. So,
Yeah.
run
So-
to Canada!
Anonymous.
Trump just signed executive order to expedite the review of psychedelics for therapy. Thoughts on that? Well, I mean, a little PCP never hurt nobody, except for those that hurt.
I mean-
Psychedelics, I mean, if you're having mental issues already, why would you want to take psychedelics? Just seems to me that would make your trip a little worse.
Right?
If you're like a schizophrenic,
But it's
would that make the voices more prominent? Would they? I mean,
or is that going to
my-
make them
my
talk
thing.
different to you?
My thing
I
is,
mean, I could see that going. I could see that being bad. I could see that causing a
Yeah.
lot more problems.
I could
than-
see it going either way, because even if you don't have mental issues and you take psychedelics, with psychedelics you're either going to have a good trip or a bad trip. Now, I've had a lot of friends that have taken psychedelics. I've had a lot of friends that have died because of their drug issues. Not just psychedelics, but all that shit combined. So living around people that have had those issues, they didn't have mental issues that I know of. But when you're taking psychedelics and
If you're already having
okay,
mental problems,
if I can, I sat and watched about 10 guys take 20 pills. I'm not going to say what they are. But you can get them over the counter. And they trip balls for 24 hours. Because I didn't do shit like that, they asked me to watch them to make sure they didn't die. That's not a position I ever want to be in again.
yeah,
I've watched a dude talk to an AC unit for 20 minutes. This is freaky shit. He thought he was talking to someone. He was talking to an AC unit. Had a dude ask me for a cigarette. I gave him a cigarette. He put it to his lips and crushed it in the ashtray. And he looks at me. He's like, "Can I have a cigarette?" I was like, "Dude, I just gave you one. It's right there in the ashtray." And he looked and he's like, "Oh. Well, can I have another one? That one's broke." I was like, "Because you broke it." So yeah, psychedelics, I don't know. I mean, they can go one of two ways, good or bad, and I don't want to see the bad.
yeah, and I would think
Makes it curious since y'all are from back in the day.
I don't know. I just think
What?
that just to me seems like you're going down a path of opening Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Because if you already have somebody who's mentally unstable, and then you're giving them some kind of psychedelic, that's just to me gonna make them even more mentally unstable. Because that's gonna make whatever they're
Alright.
having their mental instability about seem even more real
Yeah, I mean,
or
I
more
can,
extreme.
I can see that too.
But at the end of the day, you are talking about the government, and what does the government like to do with service members?
Right.
Experiment with them. They're the first people to get everything. So,
Curious since y'all are from back in the day. I go way back.
I'm not too far back in the day.
I'm way back in the day.
I mean, my day is the 90s. That's really not that too.
I
There
mean,
was-
I was born in '68, grew up in the '70s.
Yeah, see, you grew up
80s.
in that time frame
Yeah.
that stuff was.
I was a teenage. I mean, I remember in health class there was one movie that got played all the time in school, and that came about before the whole this is your brain on drugs, whatever I can't think of the word. It's here, but I can't get it there. Campaign. Before that whole campaign, they showed us a movie about a guy that took, it was LSD or PCP, I can't remember. And it fucked his brain. I mean, it literally fried it. This dude thought, I mean, he would sit there and recite. Do you remember the old Star Trek opening? I can't remember who did the opening, if it was Leonard Nimoy or who it was, but yeah, the monologue, the whole travel to, basically where no man has gone before. But they played this, and he's jumping on a bed. He was never right after. He took one dose. What are you laughing at?
Are frosted tips considered way back in the day at this point? They're back.
Fuck you, Dobie. That's all I got to say.
I could have sworn that somebody's.
Oh, they're back.
Yeah, they're coming back.
Yeah, they're coming back.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm not getting mine done again.
But on a side note, before
I just saw a video.
Let me put it to you this way. Everything that kids are doing now, yes, we've done. It's
yeah.
already been done.
Jinkos are coming back.
I'm waiting for the parachute pants. Where are they at?
Oh, we kind of skipped over that, went straight to Jinkos apparently.
Jinkos are back. Like, they were selling, like, I was at the store, like,
What were the Jinkos?
Jinkos, remember the ones where the legs that were like 4 times the size of normal pants legs, and it was like that all the way down, and they had the giant pockets.
So kind of like the skater pants?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like the Avril Lavigne of like the early 2000s,
Okay.
late 90s.
Yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, late 90s, I was on my second marriage. Actually, late 90s, I was on my second marriage going through a divorce. So,
But yeah, on a side note, before we hop into the final subject, what happened to Dare?
Dare.
You
The
don't
Dare-
hear
the
you
Dare
don't hear
program?
about Dare anymore. That used to be like the biggest thing. You would in elementary school they had Dare Week, and they would bring
that was the Nancy Reagan campaign, wasn't it?
the cops, and they would come with their cool cars and the K9s, and it was all about Dare Week. And I don't hear anything about that anymore.
I remember we had a cop with his canine at the daycare I worked at, which was part of the Dare program, and that was pretty cool. I don't know whatever.
I just
That's
remember.
like McGruff.
Marketing, yes.
McGruff was the Dare dog or whatever.
But, like, literally, every school in the country did it.
Yeah. And I remember it was always cool because they would send the cop out in either the IROC
Dylan,
Camaro.
don't you make fun of Frosted Tips? I have Frosted.
They would send either the
Had
cop out with
highlights.
the IROC Camaro or the SSP Mustangs and the drug dogs, and they'd come and they'd fill you full of all this. Like, if you do this, this is what's gonna happen to you. Kind of like the old stop, drop, and roll thing. How they had my entire generation convinced that we were gonna catch on fire at some random point, and we were just gonna have to stop, drop, and roll. Like, we had to have that ingrained in our head. Like, stop, drop, and roll.
Anonymous says Dare is still around. That her boyfriend's, I think it says 11-year-old brother, came back with a ribbon and everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but I mean,
remember
we
they
used to have
used
shirts
to, yeah,
and
they
all
used to
kinds
give
of
everything, all kinds of swag.
Dylan, you can't make up frosted tips. That's how me and Cal. That's how I got into ask me on the first date.
I don't
I
think,
don't
he
think they can hear you. So Dylan came on and said, what'd she say? I don't even know what the hell she said.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's how they started dating, because she liked his Frosted Tips.
No, she was
Oh.
giving me frosted tips.
Oh, she was giving you Frosted Tips.
Yeah, and with her boobs in my face for like an hour.
Well, that's one way to do it. Kyle said, sold.
Yeah, so. All right, well, I guess we want to hop into the last main subject here.
Sure.
So this one.
Hold on. Joey says, when I was a kid, I thought quicksand would be a much
Yes!
bigger issue.
Yes! Quick, they had us convinced. I was terrified to go to the creek because I thought if I walked out in the creek, I was going to get stuck in quicksand and I was going to die. I remember that. The quicksand, stop, drop, and roll, dare. And there was something else that they... Oh, I don't know if it was for you, but I don't remember. I remember being a kid and they had us convinced, like, if we went to sleep, like, we could combust in our sleep. Like, we would spontaneously combust into flames. And I remember being paranoid at one point in my life to go to sleep because I thought I was going to catch on fire in the middle of my sleep.
Anonymous, who are you asking that if they're almost 30?
Dylan. How
Oh.
old are you, Dylan? Aren't you almost 30?
But yeah, quicksand was that one. That was one of those things where they had you convinced, like, that you get stuck in it, you're over.
Okay. Yeah, before we get all sidetracked, this is a whole different show.
I agree.
This is a whole different show.
Watermelon.
So, K-Mama, make a note of that. This is a whole different show. Yes, we're going to go through... Our next show, we'll go through the whole just the stuff we were raised on, told, the watermelon seeds in your stomach.
Growing watermelon.
The swallowing your bubble gum takes 7 years.
We'll do that next show.
Yeah, so, yeah, we'll have K-Mama. She's going to make a note of that. And
She will pregame us a show for next week.
Next week we'll do a whole show. So definitely be here for that one. We'll go through all the stuff we grew. Because, like I said, I was born in 68, grew up in the 70s, teenager in the 80s, and I heard the same shit back then. So, yeah, y'all heard the same shit I heard. So, yeah, we definitely talk about that and what we heard and what we believed and for how long we believed it.
Yeah, because
Which decade was best?
Depends on who you talk
Yeah, it depends upon who you're talking to.
I mean, if you
For me, it was the 90s because that's just what I remember as a kid. For you, it's probably the 80s.
I lived I lived the 70s, 80s, and 90s, 2000s, 210s, 220s.
For me, there was nothing real memorable about the 2000s. To me, it was... No, I'm talking about... I'm talking about, like...
Better watch what you say, boy.
I'm talking about the memories of growing up in it. Because by the time I hit 2000s, I was already grown. I was an adult going into 2000s. I wasn't a kid.
Were you, though?
You were like, you were.
But most of the 2000s, I was 16 and older. Whereas the 90s, that sticks with me more because that was my childhood. And my childhood...
Yes, that was your childhood. That was your BMX days. That was your... whatever the hell y'all did in the 90s. I was an adult in the 90s, so...
Honestly, I probably didn't do much different stuff than you did in
the 80s.
In the 80s. I mean, outside of having...
All I know is our music was better.
Outside of having the invention of game systems coming around a little more, but even at that, it didn't consume us. We'd go inside and we'd play games for 30 minutes if it was super hot, and then we were like, all right, we're done with this. Let's go back outside.
Well, not just that. You know, like back in the 80s, we had Atari. That was the first thing to come out, besides Pong.
Well, then the NES came out in, 80s?
But I'm saying...
5 or 86?
I don't know. I didn't have any of those. But we couldn't stay in the house because our moms would look at us and say, get out of my hair. Go outside. Don't come back until it's dark. When the street lights come on, you better be home. Our parents had no idea where the fuck we were at. You wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you ate breakfast, your mom looked at you and said, go play.
Yeah.
You got on your bike, you went and found your friend.
And for me, it wasn't even...
And this is where kids from the 80s and 90s and adults today are the same. We all call each other and go, hey, you want to go ride on the bike?
Yeah, for me...
Sorry, I heard that joke. I thought it was funny because I do have a motorcycle.
And for me, it's like, I didn't have a curfew. So even though street lights came on, I didn't come in. I'd stay outside until it was time to go to bed.
I had those parents. If those street lights were on, my ass better have been in the house.
Not for me.
My mom came looking for me one time.
But I wasn't anywhere. I was in the front yard playing basketball with all my friends until they all got called in. And once everybody else went in, I went in.
Dude, I lived in the country when I was little, like until I was 13. and that's when we moved to Texas. But until I was 13, my mom and dad would look at me and say, I'd be like, you know, can I go outside? Yeah, stay in the yard. Don't go anywhere. But where the hell am I going to go? Number one, I got my cousin lives next door, which was across the creek. And that was it. So if he looked at me and said, hey, you want to go walk up the creek and go fishing in the fishing hole? I'd go. That was a mistake. My mom and dad said stay in the front yard. Got my ass beat. There was no damn gentle parenting back then. You got your ass beat.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do it.
What does Dylan say?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into the last subject matter of the thumbnail for the show. And this one, I don't think it's going to take too long. I think it'll actually be kind of quick. But it is kind of an attention
Definitely,
getter.
Dylan. All those. I agree.
So, this one is, what gun do I regret buying, or not so much regret buying, but maybe a gun that I've had nothing but problems, and I wouldn't suggest anybody buy this for people like you who don't necessarily have a regret of buying a gun.
I disagree. Sorry.
You disagree with me?
No, I don't disagree with you. I disagree with anonymous. Early 2000s had the better movies. I disagree.
No. Okay. Anyways.
You've obviously never seen The Breakfast Club. Pretty in Pink. What's some other ones? Help me out here, guys. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Classic. Yeah. No, I disagree. All right, go ahead.
So you don't necessarily, we were talking about this pre-show about how I wanted to pick this subject. You're like, I don't really have any regrets of buying any.
Right.
Yours are going to be some more of like, these are things that you acquired that you've had problems with or whatever. So I'll go ahead and knock my two out real quick.
Okay.
And for me, I really only have two regrets. I have one I just absolutely regret buying straight off the bat. And it wasn't one I bought for me.
You want to sell it?
No. I tried to. And
Oh.
they only and the Spring Guns only wanted to give me like $80 for it, and it hadn't.
Are you talking about the gun?
No,
you said you didn't buy it.
no. This was a gun I bought, and I didn't buy it for me. I bought it for her.
Oh, okay. The one she doesn't carry.
Yeah, and then
Gotcha.
my other one is just
Oh no, not
just
that
one that it's over here, which I'll get to next. So this one right here is gonna be the gun.
Damn, you didn't tell me bring show and tell.
I just brought it out so that way I could show the people. So this one right here.
Well, one
is
I can't
going
bring.
to
My
be-
son's got, so
This is going
My
to
son and
be
his
the
wife.
one that I absolutely, you want to switch over to that camera, regret 100% buying.
100%.
So, you see it over there real good.
was that your first one?
Yeah, so this is when we first started looking into license.
Okay.
She wanted something that was small. And
it had to be pink.
so
I'm
I was like, okay, well,
surprised it wasn't
there's-
Tiffany blue.
there's a small little 380, the LCP Ruger 380. And it was affordable firearm.
Mm-hmm.
And it came in pink.
It came in pink.
And I was like, we can get that for you. And I absolutely regret buying this gun. Because we got it and we took it to the farm and shot it for the first time at the farm. And it just about grew wings and flew out of your hands every time you shot it.
It's because there's nothing to the handle.
Yeah, and it was not fun to shoot. It really kind of stung for being a 380 because it has like no weight.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And so
recoil.
I
would
started
suck.
looking on the internet. I was like, what can I do to try to make this thing more usable? And I found this magazine extension which added a pinky grip, just so that way when you're holding it, instead of only having two fingers on there, with the mag extension in there, you could actually get a full grip on it. And that did nothing. It made it to where it didn't fly out of your hand, but the stupid thing was still the most uncomfortable gun to shoot. It literally serves one purpose, and that's to
Paperweight.
it's literally just to pull out and shoot in an emergency. There is no like, hey, let's go take this to the range and shoot it and have a good time, get used to it. No. You just pull it out and you hope that you can hit something with it, because you do not want to go and shoot a bunch of rounds with this, because it's just not enjoyable.
You know, a 380 like that size is almost like a gut gun. You know, like my 22 Derringer. Yeah, because my 22 Derringer is almost that size.
And mind you, the barrel, you only have like 1.5 inches of barrel.
Right.
So, but we were at Spring Guns and I was like, look, I got this Ruger LCP 380. How much would you give me for it? It's literally had like 10 rounds through it.
And he said $50.
They said, we can give you like $75 or $80. And I paid like $250 for it. I was like, well, I guess I'm just stuck with this stupid gun, because I'm not going to go and give this to you so you can turn around and sell it for
$250. Yeah.
Because it's a horrible gun and I don't want to shoot it. And it literally just sits in the safe. Maybe one day I'll get rid of it. I don't know. But I'm going to find her something better, because this is just not enjoyable. It's not fun. To me, this is the most useless gun, and I will tell everybody, do not buy an LCP 380 for any reason whatsoever, unless if you are literally buying it for an absolute emergency backup that you have shoved in a cowboy boot or something. Like my dad had one of these, and I have it in the safe, and it was literally his cowboy boot gun. He bought a holster that clipped onto his boot, and it was just right there. So that way he could
kind of like a backup gun.
So he could just grab it, whatever. That's about all it's useful for. Other than that, this thing sucks. Don't buy it.
I can see where it would be a problem.
And then my second one, it's not so much like I regret buying it kind of gun. I mean, I love the gun. It's more of, I wish I would have known more about the platform. And knew a little bit more about it, but it was more of an impulse buy. And that's going to be my AR-10 over here right behind you in the corner. Great gun. It's a Savage Model 10, I think, if I remember, MSR 10. Great gun. But I didn't find out until after the fact that a lot of parts on that gun are proprietary parts. So that's where my regret comes in. I wish, instead of getting that when we were at the gun store, I wish I would have just had the guy at the gun store that day just build me a 308 like he was talking about, because he was like, I can build you one right now.
Right.
We'll pick out the parts, or you can buy this one. He's like, this is a great gun. He wasn't wrong. That's a great gun.
But I can build you better for almost the same amount of money.
It would have been the same price if he would have built one. But I was like, well, I can get a name brand. It's a good gun. It has good reviews. But none of the reviews when I was looking on it said that it had proprietary parts. So, like, I can't change the charging handle. I can't go with an aftermarket ambidextrous charging handle, because it's got a shorter upper receiver. And so because of that, the charging handle is shorter, and it's not a standard AR-10 charging handle.
I guess that'll learn you. You've learned you'll listen to somebody next time.
And
damn
so
stubborn ass.
It's really one of those things like...
No, not Kyle.
That's my regret in that one. I wish I just would have gone with either a different one or had him build me one instead of going with one that I found out later.
Was that the first one? That was the first one.
That I found out later down the road that, yeah, it's got all these cool features, and that's because these cool features...
You can't change.
You can't change them because it's all proprietary.
You can't change them to cooler features.
Because they shorten the receiver and the bolt carrier group to make it a shorter package over a regular AR-10. Well, with that came the different spec charging handle and bolts, and the only problem I've had with that was the cotter pin for the bolt broke. Proprietary part. I had to reach out to Savage, and they ended up like 2 days shipping me a package of replacement cotter pins to put the bolt back together, because for some reason, somehow, when I was shooting it, it just broke the cotter pin and the bolt.
Yeah.
The bolt got jammed back because the cotter pin broke, and I had to take the gun apart, pull it out. It was learning experience. So make sure, for my advice is, make sure if you're buying something, check and see what the aftermarket parts capability is with it, and that you're not buying something that has too many proprietary parts. Because when I bought that, I had envisions, all this stuff, getting a charging handle, ambidextrous, nice charging handle, all this stuff. And then I start going to look for it, and they're like, yeah, nope, you're stuck with the factory stuff because nobody makes aftermarket parts for it.
Nice.
So that's my regret on that one. I don't regret the gun. The gun's been a great gun. It's just the fact that if I bought it and I wasn't worried about changing those parts, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But hindsight's 2020. I wanted to change those parts and I can't, and now I'm stuck with it basically in that configuration. So
Real quick, Dobie said that he bought a Tiffany blue Glock 43 special edition for $450.
yep, I remember that one.
And he went to return it, and they wanted to give him $115 for it. Yep, that's how it works, dude.
Does he want to keep one? I'll trade him.
I don't know if he still has it. I think he finally got rid of it. If he still has it, I mean, we can probably work out a deal. Because that's the size gun that I want to get you. Because it's something that you can still throw in a purse pretty conveniently. But all right, so there's my two. How about your fun experiences? Real quick before we top off this show.
Well, my first one would be the Jennings Brico Arms 380. Another 380. Back in my day. Which would have been around, I can't give a specific year, but it was early 90s.
We're about to figure out the date when he tells the story. That'll tell you back in his day about this gun.
I had a friend that was like, hey, I need a VCR.
What's a VCR?
And I was like, well, I've got a VCR. He's like, I need to get rid of a gun. I said, okay, I can give you a VCR for it. He goes, well, I need some cash too. I was like, dude, I think I might have $20. He's like, sold. When can you be up here? So yeah, this 380 I traded a VCR and $20 for. Carried that gun everywhere. I mean, everywhere for years. And it wasn't until I think I moved here back in 07, was showing it to a guy I went to high school with. And he looks at me, he goes, bud, your slide's split up both sides. So yeah, long story short, I ended up finding another slide for it, put it on, shot it a few times. That one split up both sides.
And it split at the back, right?
No, it's the front.
At the front?
The front, yeah. So
now, if I'm not mistaken, that slide's kind of cut like a Beretta. It's wide open on the top.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fixed sights, all that stuff. But yeah, I have no idea why it's splitting up the sides, but it's crazy.
It's got to be something, like we were talking, it's got to be something with the way they manufactured it. It has to be
but I've put one or two slides on
something,
it.
not machined and forged.
Yeah, I've went through 2 or 3 slides, the original slide and 1 or 2 other ones, and they've all done the same thing. They split after firing a few rounds. They split up the side. So yeah, if you ever run, and I think it's a Model 48. If you ever run across them, don't buy one. I don't know if that was a problem with that brand or whatever.
I think, if I remember right, I remember several years back you had me look around to see if I could find a slide that wasn't cracked.
I can't find them.
And I was finding them, but they were wanting like stupid money for the slides. They were wanting like $200 for the slide, and it's like the gun's not even worth that. And I guess they charge so much, they want so much for them because there's so few out there that aren't split.
Chloe says she had a water gun once. And the second one, I acquired that one for close to nothing. The second one I acquired was a shotgun. I don't remember the manufacturer. It was my dad's.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was a Stevens. Thinking about it.
I don't remember, but it was my dad's. He had acquired it, but he had it for years, and I actually, when I moved here, ended up selling it to your cousin for a couple $100, just because I didn't need it.
I think it was like $200,
something like that, just because I didn't need it.
Or
And
150, $200. Not a lot of money.
so yeah, money exchanges. He took the weapon home. I mean, you called me half hour, 45 minutes later, and it's like, hey, he wants his money back. I was like, why? He's like, because the gun's broke. How's it broke? He loaded it, went to rack it, all the ammo fell out. So I was like, all right, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know. Because the last time I had racked it and used it, it worked fine. But I know you dug into it, come to find out something had broke inside. And of course, because the gun was sold, no replacement parts.
Yeah.
So I ended up giving it.
And I think it was in the mag tube. It had to do, the piece that broke was a plastic buffer or something that went around the spring. And the problem was when that little thing broke off, it lost all retention.
Yeah, it holds nothing. You can load it, try to rack it, and everything just slides right back out.
You put everything in, and it'll hold it.
Yeah.
But the second you
try to rack it, chamber it,
it just starts puking.
Yeah. It goes, but, so yeah, I said something to my son about trashing it or destroying it somehow. And, he's like, well, I'll take it. You know, it was your dad's. If you don't want it, I'll take it. So yeah, he's got it at his house now, hanging on his wall, just because it was my dad's. So. And
that's about all it's good for.
And it's
I mean, it's good for a single shot.
You know, he looks at it. He's like, you know, if it worked, it would be awesome. I said, well, if it worked, you wouldn't have it. I'd still have it. I said, but you know, because it can't be fixed that I know of. I mean, if you want to hold on to it because it was, you know, your grandpa's, that's fine. And that's the only reason he's got it. So those are my two. Everything I have, I bought because I wanted. I haven't found a reason not to like it or not to like any of them. And I know you said something the other day about having 55 firearms on your logs. I counted mine the other day. I'm only halfway there. I've only got 25. Since Bougie's not on here, I got 26 now. But she don't know. She said she was going to take a nap. I swear to God, if she pops in here, I'm a dead man. But, yeah. I like everything I have. Those are just two
I'm the same
have
way.
kind of fallen apart on me.
Anything that I've bought because I wanted it. So it's not necessarily I bought it just to buy something and then have regret. Like I'll go through and I do a lot of research before I jump into something and decide what I'm going to spend my money on. So I kind of know if there's going to be any problems or anything like that.
Right.
And so if I do buy something that does have problems, I kind of know ahead of time what the problems are going to be and what to look out for, right, and how to fix them. But I don't really necessarily buy anything that has problems. So it's like I said, that's really the only gun that I've ever bought that I'm like, I shouldn't have bought that stupid gun.
And the one thing I've learned, and I'm a man, I can say it, that I learned through you, is you don't have to buy something that is so expensive because it's not going to shoot any better. Doesn't mean it's going to be the prettiest. Doesn't expensive. I mean, you laugh, but
people make fun of.
He hooked me up with the dagger situation. I own 5 of them. Now they're different looks, different optics. They're all awesome. I mean, the first one I bought, that was my EDC for several years. Well, up until I got the micro. And when I got the micro is my EDC now.
And no problems out of them.
No problems whatsoever. I couldn't tell you how many rounds have went through any of them. I know it's been in the hundreds.
The only
misfires.
The only one I ever had problems with was that first one, and it was because I was in literally the first 30 people to get one.
Which is why I have no problems now, because your problem fixed all my problems.
Because we went out, as soon as I got it, we made the trip to the farm,
Right.
and I took 1,000 rounds out there, and I looked at you and said, "Hey, you want to help me blow through 1,000 rounds and see if we can find anything wrong with this gun?" Because
Yeah, because you were doing
at the
reviews
time,
for
I
them at the
didn't.
time.
At the time when I got that gun, I was lucky. I happened to hit add to cart and buy now at the perfect time, not knowing how big that drop was going to be, and then later to find out from when we went and did the tour there, and I was talking to the CEO at the time, and he said, "Yeah, you were only one of 30 people that got one that day."
That's
And
crazy.
but the problems that we had with that, I took that straight to them, and then they stopped all production,
They fixed it.
reworked everything, retooled everything, changed parts,
Literally tore that gun apart.
machined different tolerances in different places, and fixed it. And then 5-6 months later, redropped it again with everything fixed.
And I've taken tours of a lot of places. That was my first firearm facility. But I've taken tours of tons of other places. But taking a tour of a firearm facility and them showing us basically what they did to break down your issue, what was causing it, and it laid it all out and explained it to us, and then going into the manufacturing part of it and watched them being, I don't even know what you call it, CNC machines, and making it from a raw piece of
Oh yeah, all the CNC machines
Yeah,
where they just
I
put in
mean,
the blocks of aluminums and
all the giving the tour of where it started from a block of steel to the little chamber they take it to and fire the first 2 shots to make sure it fires. That was insane.
and that was
cool
and
as
that was
hell.
one of those things that, because of the problems I found in that gun, they changed their protocols. They originally did 2 test shots.
Right.
After that, it was 2 full magazines. Every gun that shipped out had at least 2 full 15-round magazines shot through it before it was boxed and shipped out.
I was gonna say I only got two casings
But-
with mine, I think.
But when I had
But
the
you're
problem,
saying they went ahead and started firing 2 full magazines
yeah, because
through
remember they took us to the range and there was that pallet of
Oh, that's-
9mm ammo.
That's
And
right.
he's like, yeah, every gun now gets 2 magazines through it
That's right.
before
I remember
before it
that.
gets the okay. But like, I remember being on that, and like we had that problem on Saturday. I posted that video Saturday night when we went to town from the farm. We went to
Right.
Walmart. I posted that video on YouTube. Monday morning, I sent in my warranty request. And within an hour, I was on a 3-way phone call with Chad, the CEO, who that was his project to fix versus what the other guy had started in Fubard. The engineer team, and
I'll
then
say you
and
talked to
then-
the guy that actually developed the dagger, right? I can't remember his name. The skinnier guy, dark hair.
well, the engineer for the pistol program, and then Steven,
Steven. That was him.
he was the lead on the project.
Okay.
So I within an hour of submitting that warranty claim, I had a phone call, and I was on a 3-way phone call with all 3 of them, doing a full breakdown of what I did, what my problem was, how many rounds it took to have the problem, was I able to replicate it every time. It was, I mean, I had a phone call for like 45 minutes talking to them,
Right.
and they're like, "All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna email you a label, put it in a box. It's gonna be overnight to us, and we're gonna check it out." And they ended up
You'll
They-
get it back when we're done.
they took my pistol and they completely blew it apart and basically stripped it down to all the individual parts and
Right.
and went through, measured everything, found all the problems, went back in the drawings, changed things. They changed tolerances in places. They changed the locking rails, all that stuff. And then they sent it back to me and said, "All right, we have now fired," I think they said at that time they put 500 rounds through it
I'll say it was like 500
and sent it
rounds.
back to me. And then
It's right.
The sky is falling.
I went through and did it again and put it through my test, and they want to know like what ammo was I shooting? Was it an ammo problem? And so, but
Right.
they did their due diligence
They
from
did.
that initial 30 drop and got it fixed.
And because of all that, because of the way they handled the situation and everything, most of my firearms are from them. Because I know if there's a problem, I can get a hold of them and they're going to fix the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I learned from that was, again, you know, they're not going to sit there and take all your money and go, oh, fuck you, you bought it, you own it, it's yours.
Yeah.
You got a problem. They stand behind their work.
Well, like I said, PSA is definitely a 100% love-hate relationship. You have people that absolutely despise them, and you have a lot of people that love them.
Yeah, you used to be able to see that online.
And it's still that way, but
Yep.
at the end of the day, they will stand behind their product, and it doesn't matter if you're the first owner or if you're the fourth owner.
Right.
If you have one of their firearms and you have a problem, you can contact them, and they will fix that gun, whether you're the first, second, third, fourth, fifth owner, it doesn't matter. They will let you send it in, and they will go through it. They will fix it and send it back to you. So,
Adobe says, I regret my 300 blackout for sure.
He regrets his 300 blackout.
that's
Yeah, you need to go take a nap.
I think that's the pistol, right? I think that was his pistol.
I'm not sure.
Wasn't that a Zev? I thought that was I think that was a Zev 300, right? But
And Mindy McPike, 2163, says she needs a new pistol. Got a 380, you'll say.
I got one you can buy. You ain't gonna like it. I don't suggest buying it.
And then Dylan says he misses his dueling pistols. I don't know
Oh,
what the hell that was.
so
Dueling pistols.
I did see a drop. CMMG, you know that gun that Dylan wants?
Yes.
They're actually dropping. They're making some.
You hear that, Dylan?
They're actually reproducing some of those guns, and they're making them. I think they went live last Friday.
Oh, hell, Dylan.
It'll come and go, but yeah. So I'll find that and show you. So I don't know how much it's going for. I have to look it up, or if it's gonna be an always available thing, or if they did a limited drop. But
We'll keep you informed, Dylan.
Yeah.
Read these last couple comments before we start wrapping it up, because the storm's getting bad, so we're going to start bobbing in and out with the internet, because we got Starlink. W says, I think PSA is doing the right thing and making quality firearms at an affordable price. I agree 100%, which is why I bought just about
their
everything
business
I've
motto
had.
is to not try to it's not profit over product. They try to produce firearms because they want to put as many firearms in the hands of people as they possibly can to make it harder for the government to take away.
Law-abiding citizens.
So, yeah, some of their stuff might be a little bit cheaper, but it's all 100% of it now. After going on our tour, they have started making everything in house. They make all their own. They used to farm out the lower receivers and all that, but they had all those presses, and they were showing us how they had. I think it was like what six presses, and I think they said they made 100,000 lower receivers a week.
Something like that.
And they would sell every one of those every week. So they've slowly been re-putting that money into the company to where everything is bought from them is made here in America at their South Carolina
Yep.
facilities. So, and they're not over here trying to say, look, we got this rifle, we're going to sell it to you for $1,500 because we can. It's like, look, we're going to put together a package of guns that works, and we're going to be able to make it to where you can go with $400 or $500 and buy you something, because the more of those we have out in the hands of the people, the harder it is for the government to come and confiscate them if there's that many out
And
there.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to go through the whole conversation that I had with Steven about my blemished AR-10.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're on PSA's website and you're in their blemish section, and you find something you like and you go, oh, it's blemished, buy it. I bought my AR-10 for what, $400 or $500 discount, basically.
Yeah.
And
just because it says blemished
doesn't mean it's blemished.
Doesn't mean you're getting a blemished. They could have stock that they're trying to get rid of, and that's their way of
I wasn't
going to
say all that, but yeah.
Sometimes,
that's what he said.
Sometimes that is. And then sometimes it's as simple as the trigger guard has one little tiny nick.
Yeah.
That's
but he
the
said,
size of a speck where the finish is off.
But he said,
that's considered a blend.
He told me that day, he said, most of the time it's because I need to move product. So you're basically getting something at a discount just because he needs to get rid of that stock to bring in new stock.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you buy something that's blimmed on their website, it's not because you're buying something that's broken or looks like crap or whatever. The simplest little thing can be it can be a mark on the inside of the lower receiver where the finish is gone that considers it to be a blem, even though it's something you will never see because when the gun's sealed up, you don't see that.
Right.
But
I'm making a mess over here.
But yeah, that's their business motto, and that's. But like I said, you have two groups of people. You have your group of people that love them and hate them, and then it's the people that hate them. They want to bash on the people that love them. That's all it is. Like I remember not too long ago, I came across there was some meme. Some guy was sitting there bashing PSA in a meme, and all the people who support them. I literally clicked on the dude's profile, and he was friends with Jamin, the owner of PSA, and somebody else. I was like, really? You're going to sit here and bash everybody for liking PSA, but yet you're friends with the owner of the company and all of these other people that work with the company.
He's a poser.
I think it was probably somebody who has a sour taste in their mouth, because they were trying to get free stuff and they probably couldn't, and they thought, if I'm friends with all these people in the company, maybe I can get it, and he couldn't, and then he just turned sour over it.
Yep. And people do that.
All right, so what'd you think about the fire?
I like the water better.
So see, you were opposite. I like the fire better than the water.
Yeah, the fire was a little stronger, a more bold, and you know me, I'm the more mild to medium.
And you like the
flavor.
sweet cap more.
I like sweet cap. I like the flavored cigars. I like the bourbon infused. So
you like the you like the ones that are gonna keep those warning labels.
Exactly. I mean, it's not a bad smoke. I mean, I've made it this far, and now I'm having a hard time keeping it going. Which
I think
is
I've
a
only
down
had
for
to
me,
relight. I didn't even, and it wasn't even relight. I just touched it up. It's burned. This one,
I had to do that 4 or 5 times.
Every
with this one.
Dunbarton I've had, it just burns. It doesn't go out. But like I said, that very well could be one of their more budget. That might be a $7 or $8 stick. I don't know.
See, I set it down for a second. I got a toke on it, like I'm wanting to hit a
Before we go,
blunt.
I do have one quick tip on cigars.
Don't set it down.
Nope. I've learned that if you have a cigar that's got a real tight draw, or that's burning out real easy like that, if you just take the end,
I'm not licking it.
No, if you just bite it just a little bit, like squish it down with your teeth, that opens it up and makes it burn a lot better. But yeah, this
Ain't doing shit for me. And
yeah,
with that, we're wrapping this up.
Yeah, this one was good.
It had a good flavor to it. I agree.
And it's still got good flavor all the way down here.
I like the pep tobacco booty, the pipe tobacco flavor. I like that. That's a good blend.
But yeah, I like it. I have to probably wait till next Christmas for the next holiday special one. But
and with that, we still went a half hour longer than I wanted to go.
It's because we got so off subject with the comments.
We did, and we got to stop. Damn it. You people.
I wasn't.
We're a half hour less than
we were going.
the usual
We were going
2
so
hours.
hard with the comments, but I was like, I don't want to. I can't end the show off of just the comments because the main headline of the show was that subject. So we had to close it out with that. So
No, I agree.
at least next week we have something to run with. We're going to run with the childhood fears and things that they told us growing up of things that would happen.
And this is what we need. We need the people. We need the comments. We need give us some interaction, some some stuff to go on.
Yeah.
Running. What is it? What was this? Our 19th episode, 20th episode. Damn, 20th episode. I told Kyle earlier. I was like, something's got to give. We're gonna have to take a couple weeks off, revamp. I got to figure out what's wrong, what we're doing wrong. And this shit stresses me out because the way I work, the hours I put in, I don't have a lot of time to research stuff, to pull stuff, to be able to talk about.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when I come in, it's shit that I've done last minute. And so I come in not really knowing what I'm even wanting to talk about.
Yeah, and so y'all being active in the comments helps us.
It helps a lot.
Because now we have subject matter for next week that we can prepare all week for.
Right.
And get ready. And then next week when we're talking, if y'all are all here and you're throwing out conversation pieces, that gives us something to talk about the next week. And then the next week. And it helps us to where we're not so swamped with trying to come up with subjects that y'all may or may not want to even talk about or hear about. So
right.
I would rather talk about stuff that
and this is what we've wanted all along. We've wanted comments of, it doesn't even have to be a suggestion. It's be like, like earlier, the whole stop, drop, and roll, this, that, and the other. We're going to take that and run with it. That's going to be next week's show.
Yeah.
So come back, tune back in, and that's what we're talking about. And we're talking about what you guys want to hear, what you want to... Because when I started this whole thing, it was talking about anything and everything. But because he already had the YouTube channel and stuff on Gars and Arms, about cigars and firearms, that's what we went with. That's what we'll continue to go with as long as it works.
And firearms don't have to be the conversation piece every week.
Right.
Cigars will be...
It'll at least kick off the show.
Because every week we're going to talk about the cigar we're smoking. So regardless, we're going to talk about that.
But it's like I told you, you don't have cigar news stuff every day.
No.
Every week. You don't have firearm news or information to give every week.
No, a lot of it's just regurgitated week after week.
Right.
And so having everybody chime in, it helps us game plan. And so now we got a good game plan for next week.
We're going to run with it and see what
we're
happens.
going to run with it. We got a whole week to talk about, come up with our ideas and put them down. So look forward to having all y'all join next week, and y'all can comment with things that maybe they were different than what I remember being told, or you remember being told that you were terrified of as a kid, so.
See how much things have changed over the
decades. Because, at least in this conversation piece here, we have everything from 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Yep.
How much has it changed between those 4 decades and what those kids were terrified as versus what we were terrified as?
Yeah, and we're going to take all that and we're going to pack it into an hour.
Yep.
And then we're going home.
Yep. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. If you smoked a cigar, I hope you enjoyed it tonight. And thanks for hanging out with us for this hour-and-a-half episode.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do our best to try to get it down to about an hour going forward.
And I started doing this last week, but I didn't do it tonight. Check us out. All platforms. Facebook page. Go look at it. Sign up on it. Join it. TikToks. I put shorts on TikTok. He puts shorts on YouTube. But check us out on all platforms. If you just caught the ass end of the show, you can go back to Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, rewatch it.
Follow, subscribe.
Like. Get us up there, people. That's what we're here for. We're here to keep you guys informed on some little bit
and if
of
you have
firearm
any
and
questions
cigar.
or concerns.
Questions, comments, concerns, you can email us at garsandarms@gmail.com.
But
almost forgot it.
And but you can keep the concerns and stuff to yourself.
Yeah, you can take the concerns and shove them up. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Comment suggestions, yeah, definitely email us. I look at it daily. Haven't seen shit on it yet, but you never know. And with that, he's Kyle. I'm Dale. We are Gars and Arms. See you next